welcome back to the channel. What we're gonna be doing today is I got my harness. Since all the electrical on the truck checked out okay and most of it's done, we don't have a whole lot more to go underneath the dash. I want to go ahead and get my key switch in. It's currently right now, it's just hanging right there. But before you mount the key switch, there's wires from the standalone harness for the LT engine that need to pass through the firewall and go to that key switch. So he includes, if you didn't have a key switch, he includes one.
Oh.
So this is a factory OEM harness that's been reworked that will actually work now standalone from the vehicle. This came out of a Camaro. All the stuff that you don't need has been cut off. There's been some changes made to it. This all comes from Swap King. There's his information there. There's a few different companies that do this. We like this guy because he's local to us. Swap Time does the same thing. And then there's Chinese harnesses that most people, from what we understand and have seen and read, have issues with the way they were pinned. They were pinned incorrectly. So you'll get all this in your truck and then nothing works and you have to tear it all back apart. So I guess the beauty or the good thing of going with the OEM harness is everything's where it should be and all that's been done is removed. Nothing's been repinned. So I opted to do mine. This is my TCM, ECM. I believe that's a Camaro pedal. So mine has everything ready to pretty much go. Everything's labeled. Everything's done real nice. And this ain't cheap. I think this is a little over, I think it was $1,000 something. I can check, hang on. This is a E92 ECM, T87 TCM, and pedal, everything done, relays. This was a little over $1,400. And that's with me supplying the harness. Now, I didn't have the computers, so he sourced the computers. That is with the added cost of the computers. Yeah. But, it's a lot. But the goal today is just to kind of, we're going to try to lay it out the best we can. We're not putting the motor in the truck anytime soon. But in order to mount the key switch, this has to go in. Or a portion of it anyway. The rest of it will be bundled up, I guess, hanging outside the hood somewhere. Got the key switch unbolted. I went and took the computer, the ECM, TCM off, just to make it less bulky. And then we may have to depin. This is your gas pedal plug. And of course, this is your OBD2. We're hoping we can snake them through there's a decent sized hole here in the firewall. But Dad's trying to remember, he did his quite a while ago, but he sure says he remembers depinning. So we're gonna see. We took some pictures if we do have to depin these, and then go from there. The wire's cold, so Dad's kind of stretching it out. We were looking, of course you ain't gonna be able to see none of this because I ain't got a light over here. His harness comes in on the driver's side. See that line right above the brake booster? That's where his harness comes in. His computer's on this side. His TCM is down there underneath the air conditioning stuff. And then his relay box is here. Mine, the LT1 Camaro harness is different from a truck harness. So the LT1 Camaro harness, the computer goes on passenger side. The relay box passenger side. TCM can go pretty much where he put his as well. But instead of going through that big grommet hole there, when everything's got to be on this side anyway, we're going to go through that hole there, which there was a harness coming out of there that I forgot what it was for. It wasn't wipers. I think it may have been the original heater harness came through there. I don't know, but I already cut it. And of course, that's hush mat, so we just got to cut a little slit in the hush mat and then pass everything through. But that'll push everything on the kind of more on the passenger side. Yeah. But there's plenty of wire for me to go over to the key switch. So we got to do key switch
and your pedal
and the OBD2, and there's one other wire that's for the push to start brake. Yeah.
Push brake start.
Push brake start. But Dad thinks going on the passenger side will work. Either one of them would work. You would just have to support the harness wire up and over the engine. These motors, with whatever intake you decide to do, they do set up a little bit high in the back. So you'd have to just support that harness coming up, around, and back. Yeah, so we're gonna put a little slit in there and then see what we can fit through without depinning. And if we have to depin, we depin. Got the harness pushed through. We had to depin the gas pedal. Everything else pushed through that one grommet just fine. So by crazy chance, if you're working on one of these, everything you need to fit through there will fit through there except for the gas pedal. And it's a simple depin and repin. They're all in the same row. It's just the colors. Just make sure your colors are right. So we got that pulled through. So right now we're looking at tying into the ignition switch. Then we can get it mounted. There's a few little different pieces that go on the ignition switch to make it look nice up here.
This does have an S.
Okay, so I got the old key switch cut off, or the old key switch connectors cut off, so we can tie into this.
We got a lot of these.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tie into the factory one, and I ain't gonna be able to show it. Well, maybe you can. So what we got,
The embossing's hard to see in the black, but it's there.
So the red wire is gonna go to the one that says battery. The purple wire is going to go to the one that says ignition, so right here. And then the yellow wire goes to SOL. So the yellow wire goes to the shit out of luck connector. So I don't know what that means, but that's what we're going with. So that's how you tie that in. I got the push brake to start already tied in. I got these butt connectors that, as you heat them up, they do like heat shrink. Works pretty good.
If you want to put it, I used tie wraps and did it a different way.
So got the new LT harness tied into the original ignition switch wires. I got this is a ground for your check engine light. I've got the brake, push to start brake wired up, and then ran some grounds over here to that. Once it's all tie wrapped, it'll be fine. That's where we're at so far. Okay, ignition switch is in. Now we're looking at mounting the pedal so I can get some of this wire zip tied and tucked back up underneath the dash. Went ahead and put the battery tray in, even though you can't see it. It's underneath all this, just so we can get an idea of where to mount some of this stuff. So I know how much slack to either pull through the firewall or push through the firewall, and get it organized and out of the way. So my pedal's different. He's got I think he said this is a Corvette pedal. Not really sure. I think mine's a Camaro pedal. So my pedal will be like the one on the 64 here, and he's got it set up. He's got it set up where it works. That should be good. Just a couple self tappers, zip it in. I may have to pull it back out when I put my carpet in. I have the carpet, I'm just not ready to put it in yet. All right, we don't know what y'all been doing, but y'all missed a lot here. So we got the relay box is mounted. Dad's mounting. Is this a fusible link? I think for the.
It's just a
Yeah, it's a fusible link.
like a fusible link for the
Vintagetrucks. So Dad's mounting that. We're just getting everything kind of situated out of the way. We're making more progress than we thought we would, but kind of happens. Kind of happens. And then the gas pedal's mounted. I'm not sure if I'm exactly in love with the location, but it feels like it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a seat in here, but it feels like that'll be cool. Okay, so got everything kind of tidied up, zip tied, out of the way. OBD2 port temporarily here. I don't like the way it looks mounted here, even though these holes work perfectly, but for now, it'll be fine. Once this thing's on the ground and there's carpet in it, you won't see none of this stuff. But yeah, that's it. Getting closer. I think that's gonna do it for the 66 today. I think I'm gonna start working on the 64 with Dad. Try to make some progress on that. Probably a separate video, a little short. But yeah, I mean, pedals mounted. All the underneath the dash wiring is complete, done. Key switches in. Shouldn't be not too much more wiring to do underneath the dash. Underneath here, of course, we have the whole harness for the LT1, wires for the vintage air, and then there's one wire somewhere around here. It goes back to the gas tank, and then the washer, squirter, reservoir pump. Yeah, so we made a lot of progress today. I didn't expect to get this far. Honestly, I just came to put the key switch in, but here we are. I need to get a grommet still for that, so I'm gonna buy a little grommet kit. Get a grommet for that. But yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe, like, share, ring the notification bell. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.